Christmas Eve, 1974, Tuesday, December 24th, and now Lowell Thomas.
From Bethlehem, from Athens, and from Vail, Colorado, comes today's news. Good evening, everybody. This is Lowell Thomas for CBS News. Christmas in the Holy Land, as you may have heard, was marked today by the tightest security in the 7 years of Israeli occupation. They were banning all vehicles from Bethlehem, searching all who arrived to attend the nativity services at the church and to walk down those steps to the chapel of the manger. This in part the result of a terrorist grenade attack early in the week, and it cut attendance by pilgrims from an expected 15,000 to barely 1,000. At any rate, the Christmas Eve ceremony did go off without incident. At the Vatican, Pope Paul tonight struck a silver hammer against the door of St. Peter's Basilica, thus ushering in a new holy year dedicated to reconciliation within the Catholic Church and throughout the world. He then celebrated his annual Christmas Eve midnight Mass with the ceremony broadcast by radio and television around the globe. At Athens, a reward of more than $800,000 offered today by Greek shipping magnate Aristotle Onassis. This for proof that a plane crash in which his son was killed 2 years ago was the result of a premeditated act. Onassis' offer is said to be based on opinions from foreign and Greek experts that the crash was definitely caused by sabotage, not negligence. Santa Claus came to troubled Ulster today in an armored car, under heavy guard. The Santa in question, a British Army trooper passing out candy and gifts to children living in Belfast, mainly in the Protestant Sandy Row district. Santa's visit in the midst of an IRA truce that seems to be holding up till now. Former CIA Director Richard Helms today categorically denied any agency involvement in domestic espionage when he was there. This in a telegram from Tehran, where he is our ambassador. It was in response to a query from Secretary of State Kissinger, who has been told to get all the facts. Helms denying that the CIA conducted illegal domestic operations against anti-war activists or dissidents, or that any unit to do so was created under him. From the American Academy of Pediatrics, a warning to the parents of young snowmobilers, noting that reckless operation of snowmobiles presents serious risks. Snowmobile-related deaths now running from 20 to 30 a month. Special training programs for the young are urged and stricter parental control. The arrest of a coast-to-coast commuter bandit is reported from San Jose, California. 32-year-old Gaylord Anguish, accused of robbing 5 Long Island banks during trips east to visit his mother. Between jobs, allegedly holding up in a plush chalet in the Santa Cruz Mountains. The key to Anguish's undoing, a rental car that he charged to his mother's credit card. And she, too, is under arrest for not giving her son away. Mrs. Laura Wisham of Freehold, New Jersey, observed Christmas Eve today the way she always has done, celebrating her own birthday. This one, her 103rd birthday. But she still found time to get in some work as a member of the local retired seniors volunteer program, Mrs. Wisham saying she credits her long life to luck and the fact that the Almighty hasn't yet put her number up on that board. One more Christmas item. This one comes from Norbury, England. And perhaps it has the true Christmas spirit. A chalked notice on the blackboard at the local railway station reading, "Sorry for the poor Christmas tree and decorations, but the real one and the lights, they were stolen last night." And then it added, "Happy Christmas to you all and to the thief." And this is Lowell Thomas for CBS News saying, Merry Christmas to all of you, and so long until tomorrow.
Christmas Day, 1974, Wednesday, December 25th, and now Lowell Thomas.
It's 7 o'clock. From Moscow, from Darwin, Australia, from Milan, Tennessee, comes today's news. Good evening, everybody. This is Lowell Thomas for CBS News. President Ford still at Vail, Colorado on his Christmas holiday. This morning he exchanged presents with his family, then took off for another day on skis, his 4th at Vail on the western slope. With the mercury at 12 below, the president went up the 11,000-foot mountain, accompanied by ski instructor Dennis Hager, plus, of course, the usual Secret Service contingent. I wonder how they handle the Vail trails. And several friends, perhaps Pete Seibert and Pepe Gramshammer. For the skiing president, another ideal day in the Colorado Rockies. A meeting with top economic advisors has been scheduled by the President for Saturday at Vail. Secretary Kissinger sent President Ford a 50-page report today dealing with the CIA's alleged domestic spying activities, the latest to come up on Capitol Hill. Air Force plane, one of them, flew the report to Colorado. The document, prepared by CIA Director William Colby, in answer to newspaper reports that the CIA at one time had the names of some 10,000 Americans in its files. CIA spokesmen say only those Americans in illegal contact with foreign governments were put under surveillance. As to the cyclone that hit northern Australia, it had winds up to 175 miles an hour, 175. It struck the north coast city of Darwin, leaving at least 49 dead. The toll probably will be higher. Hundreds more injured. Some 20,000 of the city's total population of more than 37,000 left homeless. A Christmas snowstorm blanketed the eastern Great Lakes region, parts of New York, Pennsylvania, much of New England. Showers and thunderstorms for many other parts of the country. A dense fog hid the morning sun in the Florida Panhandle. Brighter than prophesied were the retail sales estimates for Christmas shopping across the nation, reportedly 5% above last year. And the Yuletide spirit prevailed nearly everywhere. In Canton, Ohio, one resident thought of something old Scrooge didn't think of. Awakened during the night by Christmas carolers at the front door, he thought there were prowlers and fired a rifle through the window, injuring a girl caroler, who happily is reported to be recovering, ready to go caroling again. And now, this is Lowell Thomas for CBS News saying so long until tomorrow.
7:06 at WCAU. I'm Bruce Bradley with Bill Hart and Pete Silverman. It is Christmas night.
Thursday, December 26, 1974. Now Lowell Thomas.
From Peking, from Jerusalem, from the Grand Teton in Wyoming comes today's news. Good evening, everybody. This is Lowell Thomas for CBS News. Rebellious inmates at the Lorton, Virginia Federal Prison ended a 20-hour siege by releasing 7 hostages and returning to their cells. The hostages, all guards, were not injured by the convicts who were armed with butcher knives. The uprising began Christmas night after 4 inmates escaped over the prison wall. One was killed later, shot by a guard. Also, there's word that an armed Indiana State Prison inmate is holding 3 people hostage in an old farmhouse near the prison work farm just outside Michigan City. New federal clean air regulations originally scheduled to become effective New Year's Day are now postponed for at least 6 months, till June 30. The reason, says the Environmental Protection Agency, a public debate and misunderstanding over the guidelines. Also, whenever effective, the new rules will have a major impact on construction of shopping centers, stadia, airports, highways, almost anything involving large numbers of automobiles. The Russians are now saying that they are the world's biggest producers of oil. They claim to have surpassed the United States in production figures this year with 458 million tons of it. Still politically active, apparently, in spite of his advancing years, Mao Zedong today celebrated his 81st birthday. From Peking, we are told that he probably will promote a new economic program to be called the New Leap Forward, a successor to the so-called Big Leap Forward of the 1950s. Despite warnings of avalanche danger, veteran mountain climber Paul Petzold is going ahead with his plans to again climb the Grand Teton in Wyoming, do it on New Year's Day. Paul Petzold, now 66 years old, year after year has been climbing that 13,700-foot Grand Teton, doing it for more than a half a century. I'm not sure that this is worthy of mention, but in Chicago, a state investigation is looking into reports that a number of staff workers at the Illinois Middle Health Center, both male and female, went skinny dipping recently in the center's swimming pool. Officials stressed that those involved in the nude swim party were staff members, not patients. Said one official, "Could you call it therapy? Could you?" And now this is Lowell Thomas for CBS News saying, so long until tomorrow.